I always draw on the history, particularly the deceptions at the end of the First World War, by all of the Western powers, actually, without exception, on that. What's the attitude in Britain? The Foreign Office and foreign policy tends to work on the basis of not wanting to upset national frontiers anyway. And so hence the often quite ludicrous lines on maps all across the Middle East and Africa are usually defended by every Western country because they're all complicit in the drawing of them in the first place. What will happen in the longer run with Kurdish people? Well, you probably know better than me. It seems to me that there has been a significant corner turn over the past 5 years in the coming together of a lot of the Kurdish organisations, hence we're here in this room tonight. Secondly, the international recognition of the Kurdish regional government in Iraq. And thirdly, the way in which Turkish governments are now being forced to recognise Kurdish identity, to some extent Kurdish language. We're not completely there yet. I'm not pretending it's all over, it's not. But there are big changes there. And so I think if we're meeting here in 5 years' time or 10 years' time, one would see at the very least a coming together of Kurdish representation from within all those countries that we've been talking about this evening. And I think that Kurdish identity is something that is going to get stronger, not weaker. And that is in part because of the very, very good actions that have been taken by so many Kurdish people living in exile in Germany, France, Britain, Belgium, all over Western Europe, and that has had an effect on British politics. There's no question about that, and it's had an effect on parliamentary thinking here. And so, having this group coming together tonight of essentially a unity of Kurdish people has got to be a good thing, and I hope that we will also become a strong force and a bastion of rights of young people, old people, disabilities, women, and rights of all minorities within the Kurdish region as a whole, as an example to every other country in the region, where, frankly, the human rights record of pretty well all countries in the region leaves an awful lot to be desired. I hope the Kurdish people, having suffered such abuse of human rights themselves, will instead become an example of what good human rights, good democracy and good justice actually can be as an example to others.